All right, so are you ready to get a little creeped out?
Oh, always.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I've seen that one.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I know, I was watching it and I was like, oh, we got to do a deep dive on this one.
Yeah, for sure.
So basically it's like a collection of, these creepy stories that happen to students.
Right.
And some of them are like, whoa.
Yeah, they really get under your skin.
Yeah, they really like mess with your head.
Especially like that first one.
Oh, you know which one I'm talking about.
Yeah, the party one.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So creepy.
Okay, so for everyone listening, let's start with that one.
Okay.
So it starts with these 3 college friends, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's Friday night, they're bored,
Classic.
Looking
for something to do.
Yeah, just like, let's go find a party.
Right.
And they hear about this party from this girl, Callista. But here's where things start to get a little weird.
Okay, I'm listening.
So before they even get to the party, like they're on their way, Callista disappears from their friend Ian's phone.
You mean disappears?
Like her contact info just vanishes.
Just completely gone.
Gone.
Wow, that's weird.
Yeah, and it's like this little detail that you don't really think much of at first.
Right.
But then like looking back, it's like, oh, that was the first sign that something was off.
Yeah, it's like foreshadowing. Like
Yeah.
a horror movie.
Exactly.
Ooh, I get chills just thinking about it.
So anyway, they finally get to this house where the party's supposed to be.
Okay.
It's like, whoa, this is not what we were expecting.
What was it like?
Okay, so first of all, the lighting is super weird,
Okay.
like dim and kind of flickering.
Kooky.
Right. And the music is like not your typical party music.
Like what kind of music?
It's like this like kind of slow and like almost like chanting.
Oh, no, that's creepy.
And then the people at the party, they're all dressed in this like formal attire.
Formal attire. At a college party?
Yeah, like suits and dresses.
That's so strange.
It's like super out of place.
Yeah.
And everyone's just kind of like staring at them.
Oh, God, that would make me so uncomfortable.
Yeah. It's like they don't belong.
Right, right.
And then they get told there's an entrance fee.
An entrance fee? What do you mean?
They have to take a shot of tequila.
Okay, well, maybe that's not so weird.
Yeah, I mean, for college, maybe not, but it's just like...
Given everything else, it's like another red flag.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like all these little things just adding to this feeling of unease.
Like something's just not right.
Right. And then there's the green line.
The green line, what's that?
So some of the people at the party have this weird green line on their necks.
Like a mark.
Yeah, like a thin line, like it was drawn on with a marker or something.
Oh, that's creepy.
Yeah, and the storyteller, like he first notices it on this girl he's talking to,
Mm-hmm.
and then later he sees it on this older guy in the bathroom. And this guy, like, he gives off some seriously bad vibes.
Ooh. I don't like the sound of that.
And he goes up to the storyteller and asks him, who invited you?
Uh-oh.
And then he says Callista's name.
Like the girl who disappeared from the phone.
Yeah, and he says it with this, like, knowing look.
Like he knows something they don't.
Exactly, and it's like that moment where they realize they're in over their heads.
Right, they're not just at a weird party anymore.
Yeah, it's like they've stumbled into something dangerous.
And then what happens?
Well, they finally notice that they have these red lines on their own necks.
Red lines. So not green like the others.
Right, and it's like mirroring the green lines, but different.
Oh, God, that's terrifying.
And that's when they freak out and run out of the party.
I don't blame them.
I'd be out of there too.
So we're left with all these questions, right?
Yeah, like what was the party really about?
What did the lines mean?
Was it a cult?
Or some kind of initiation.
We don't know.
And that's what makes it so creepy.
The not knowing.
Yeah, our imaginations can run wild.
Totally.
Well, that was intense.
I know, right?
Okay, so what's the next story?
Okay, so the second story, it's a little different,
Okay.
but just as creepy in its own way.
All right, I'm ready.
This one's about a grad student who gets his backpack stolen.
Oh, no, I hate when that happens.
Right, like it's such a pain.
Yeah, especially when you have like your laptop and everything in there.
Exactly.
Oh.
It's the worst.
So this student, he's at a lecture,
Hmm.
and when he gets up to leave, his backpack's gone.
Oh no.
And this wasn't just any backpack.
What do you mean?
It had like everything in it.
Like what?
Like his keys,
Yeah.
his laptop, external hard drives with all his research.
Oh wow. So like basically his entire life.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh man, that's rough.
And at first it's just like, this is annoying.
Right.
But then things take a dark turn.
What happens?
He starts receiving these handwritten
You want
notes.
handwritten notes, like what kind of notes?
Like creepy ones.
Like what do you mean creepy?
Like things like, I see you.
and I know what you did.
Oh God, that's terrifying.
Yeah, it's like textbook stalker behavior.
Ugh, that sends shivers down my spine.
Right. And it starts messing with his head.
Of course.
He starts noticing small things out of place in his apartment.
Like what?
Like maybe a book moved on a shelf.
Okay.
Or like a drawer left slightly open.
Ooh, that's creepy.
Yeah, and he even thinks he sees someone taking pictures of him through his window at night.
Oh my God. No.
He's like constantly looking over his shoulder, jumping at every little sound.
That would be so scary.
Yeah, he's basically living in a state of constant paranoia.
Right, like the stalker is winning.
Exactly.
Ugh, I hate that.
And just when you think it can't get any worse,
Yeah.
he comes home one day and his entire apartment has been ransacked.
Whoa.
Like things are thrown everywhere, drawers are pulled out.
Oh my God, that's a nightmare.
Right.
But like, at least they didn't hurt him, right?
Yeah, he wasn't there.
Okay, good. But still,
Yeah, it's just a violation.
a total violation of his space.
Like the stalker is just trying to make him feel completely powerless.
Exactly.
It's so messed up.
But here's the thing.
What?
The student doesn't just like sit there and take it.
He fights back.
Yeah.
What does he do?
Well, first he changes his locks,
Smart.
and then he reports it to the police. And he even considers like setting a trap for the intruder.
Ooh, that's risky.
Yeah. But like, can you blame him?
No, I get it.
He just wants to feel like he has some control over the situation.
Right.
But I mean, you never know how a stalker might react.
True.
So it's probably best to let the police handle it.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so ready for the last story.
Hit me with it.
Okay, this one is,
What?
it's pretty messed up.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
It starts with this young woman,
Okay.
and she just broke up with her boyfriend.
Okay.
So she's already feeling a bit vulnerable, you know.
Right.
And then she starts hearing these weird noises outside her window at night,
Like what kind of noises?
like footsteps.
And like rustling in the bushes.
Oh no.
And she starts to think it's her ex.
Oh God, I hate when that happens.
Right.
Like that feeling of being watched,
Exactly.
especially after a breakup. It's just the
But-
worst.
Yeah, and it's creepy enough as it is. But then things take a terrifying turn.
Oh no, what happens?
So she's in class
Mhm.
and she's about to give a presentation.
Okay.
And suddenly the video on the screen changes.
What do you mean changes?
It's no longer their project.
Then what is it?
It's someone in a screen mask.
Like the movie Scream.
Yeah.
God, that's creepy.
And they're talking about her.
What are they saying?
Like really graphic and humiliating things.
Like that's awful.
Yeah, it's like a total violation.
Using technology as a weapon.
Exactly.
And in front of the whole class.
I know.
That's just brutal.
So of course she's mortified.
I can't even imagine.
But it doesn't end there.
What else happens?
She finds out her email has been hacked. And then someone starts sending her explicit photos of herself via Snapchat.
What?
Yeah, and it's not just old photos.
What do you mean?
It's like someone has access to her phone and is taking new photos of her without her knowledge.
Oh my God, that's terrifying.
Yeah, it's like next level creepy.
Like they're watching her every move.
Exactly.
And she has no idea who it is.
Right.
It could be her ex.
Or someone else entirely.
Oh God, that would drive me crazy.
Yeah, she's left feeling completely violated and powerless.
That's the worst.
So what does she do?
I don't know. What would you do?
Well, she does a few things.
Right.
First, she changes all her passwords.
Okay.
And then she reports it to the police.
Oh,
And she tries to ignore the stalker.
like hoping they'll just go away.
Yeah.
Sometimes that works,
Yeah,
but sometimes it doesn't.
true.
God, that whole story just makes me feel so icky.
I know, it's like a total invasion of privacy.
Yeah, and it shows how vulnerable we are in this digital age.
It's like anyone can be a victim.
Ex-
It's a scary thought.
It is.
But I think it's important to talk about these things
So it's what?
so we can be aware and protect ourselves.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's the last story from this YouTube video.
Wow.
Pretty creepy, right?
Yeah, my mind is officially blown.
Mine too.
Like, I don't even know what to say.
I know it's a lot to process,
It is.
but I think it's important to talk about these things.
Yes, it definitely.
Like you said, awareness is key.
Absolutely.
So
So,
what do we do with all this?
right. Like, where do we go from here?
Exactly.
Hmm.
Good question.
Well, maybe we can start by just acknowledging that these things happen.
Right.
Like, they're not just stories.
Yeah, they're real people's experiences.
And they can have a real impact on people's lives.
Absolutely.
So I think it's important to be supportive and understanding.
Yeah, for sure.
And also to be proactive.
Like what do you mean?
Like taking steps to protect ourselves.
Right.
Both online and offline.
Yeah, like being aware of our surroundings.
And being careful about what information we share online.
Yeah,
It's a scary world out there.
it is.
But we don't have to let fear control us.
Right.
We can be smart and we can be safe.
Exactly.
Okay, I feel a little better now.
Me too.
Thanks for talking about this with me.
Of course, anytime.
All right, so what else is on the agenda for today?
Well, we've got a few more things to discuss.
Okay.
But first, I think we need a break.
Yeah, I could use a coffee.
Me too.
Okay, let's do it.
It's wild, right? It's like each story kind of has this like underlying thread of like, you know, that feeling of being watched or controlled.
Yeah, like someone messing with your sense of security.
Exactly, like with the creepy party.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just that they went to like a weird party, you know? It's
Yeah.
like that feeling of being lured into something they didn't
They
understand.
didn't have a choice.
Exactly.
And then the markings, the lines on their necks.
Ugh. Yeah, that was so creepy.
It's like a brand or something.
Totally, like they're
Mhm.
being claimed by this like unknown force.
It reminds me of like, cults.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like they promise you belonging and acceptance, but
And
then,
they control you.
yeah, and it's like a gradual thing
Like you don't even realize it's happening.
until it's too late.
Exactly. And then with the stolen backpack story,
Oh, man, that one.
it's not just about like the hassle of losing your stuff.
It's the violation.
Yeah, someone's in your space.
They know your secrets.
And those handwritten notes. Ugh.
Psychological warfare.
Seriously.
Just designed to make him paranoid.
And it worked.
Of course it worked.
He was constantly looking over his shoulder.
I wouldn't be able to function.
Me neither.
Like imagine trying to focus on your grad school work.
With that hanging over you
No way.
and not knowing who it is.
Oof, that's the worst part.
Right.
Like, is it someone I know?
Someone you see every day.
That's what I would be thinking.
It would drive me insane.
And then ransacking his apartment.
Oh my God.
Like just to show him who's boss.
Yeah, like I have complete control over you.
So messed up.
But you know what I find interesting?
I'll put that.
He fought back.
Yeah, he did.
Changed his locks, went to the police.
Even tried to set a trap.
I know, a little risky.
I get it.
He wanted to feel in control again.
It's a natural instinct.
And then the third story,
The online stalker.
it's like a modern day nightmare.
It really is.
Like our digital lives are just as vulnerable as our physical lives.
Maybe even more so.
Seriously.
We leave this digital trail everywhere we go,
And anyone can access it.
if they know how.
And this guy, he used technology to like amplify his harassment.
It's like hacking into her life.
Her photos, her messages.
Like she has no privacy.
and it's constant.
She can't escape it.
No matter where she goes.
It's with her all the time.
on her phone.
In her pocket.
I mean, can you imagine?
The
It
violation.
would be traumatizing.
But she did what she could.
Changed her passwords, went to the police.
Tried to ignore it.
It's all you can really do in that situation.
It's tough.
But what I think is so
And
important
that.
is that all three of these students, they fought back.
Yeah, they didn't just give up.
They took action
They took back their power.
in whatever way they could.
It's inspiring.
It is.
It shows that even in the face of fear,
We can be resilient
we can survive.
and we can protect ourselves.
Exactly.
So what can we do like in our own lives?
To stay safe.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, be aware of your digital footprint.
Like what we post online.
Exactly.
Who we're talking to.
Be careful about suspicious emails and links.
Use strong passwords.
Two-factor authentication.
All that good stuff.
Yeah. And when it comes to physical safety,
Trust your gut.
if something feels off, it probably is.
Be aware of your surroundings.
Let people know where you're going.
Check-ins.
And if you ever feel threatened,
Don't hesitate to call for help.
it's better to be safe than sorry.
So it's like finding that balance, right?
Between staying connected,
And staying safe.
it's not always easy,
Especially with technology blurring the lines.
but it's a conversation we need to have.
We need to talk about these things
Educate ourselves and others.
so we can create a safer world.
For everyone.
Couldn't have said it better myself. You know, it's easy to just hear these stories and be like, oh, that's scary, but then just move on.
Right.
But I think it's important to like really think about the impact.
On the victims.
Yeah, like the emotional toll.
Absolutely.
It's not just about the event itself.
It's the lasting effects.
Yeah, like how it affects their sense of safety,
Your trust in others.
their well-being.
It can really mess you up.
Totally.
Trauma can manifest in so many ways.
Like anxiety,
Depression,
sleeping.
always feeling on edge.
Yeah, like you're constantly looking over your shoulder.
Exactly.
And it's important to remember that these are normal reactions.
Really abnormal situations.
Yeah,
So we need to
Right.
be understanding.
and supportive.
Yeah, like if someone comes to you with a story like this,
It's important to listen.
without judgment,
Leave them.
validate their feelings.
Yeah, like just be there for them.
Sometimes that's all you can do.
And let them know they're not alone.
Exactly.
And are there like resources available?
For victims of stalking or harassment?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Like what?
There's the National Stalking Hotline,
Okay.
the National Domestic Violence Hotline,
Mm-hmm.
RAIN,
What's that?
the Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network.
Wow. Okay.
These organizations can provide a lot of support.
Like what kind of support?
Information.
Okay, referrals to like therapists or counselors.
Yeah, and emotional support.
Just someone to talk to.
Yeah, someone who understands.
That's so important.
It is.
And I think it's important to emphasize
Right.
that seeking help is not a sign of weakness.
Oh, absolutely not.
It's a sign of strength,
It takes a lot of courage to reach out.
especially when you've been through something so traumatic.
Yeah, it's a step towards healing.
Towards taking back your life.
Exactly.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I think the key takeaway is this.
I'm listening.
We need to be aware.
Aware of the risks.
We need to be prepared.
Know what to do if something happens.
And we need to be supportive.
Of those who have been affected by these issues.
Exactly.
Well said.
And maybe
Maybe what?
by talking about these things,
Openly and honestly.
we can create a culture
Where victims feel empowered to speak out.
where perpetrators are held accountable,
And where everyone feels safe and respected.
both online and offline.
That's the dream.
It is.
Well, this has been a really thought-provoking conversation.
It has.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, thanks for joining us.
And to everyone listening.
Stay safe out there.
And remember,
Knowledge is power.